Good morning, everyone. I am so excited for this inaugural episode or debut episode of Collaboration Conversations. I am thrilled that Pearl Cox and I are going to be able to bring this to you every week. And actually, we're going to bring it to you twice a week. I'd like to introduce Pearl, my co host. Pearl, welcome.
Hi, Regina. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on this, and I'm excited to see just how it's going to grow.
Exactly. And we'd like to welcome our first guest, Sherry Knight from Dimensions 11. Sherry, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
We're excited to have you here. I've been looking forward to this all week since Pearl and I set this in motion and decided that we were going to do this. And I love the name of the group, Collaboration Conversations, because we've been doing a lot of that. And I would venture to say that for all three of us, collaboration is one of our words for this year, right?
You bet. You
Definitely.
bet.
And we've been involved in some fun collaborations and doing some exciting things together and with others. And we'll talk about that as time goes forward. We'll talk about the various projects that we have going on, how you can become involved in some of those if you want. We're going to be having some guest panels. So Sherry is the first member of our guest panel this morning. We may have some others join us yet, but that's one of the things that we want to do is to be able to bring people to the show, to this live, and help them finding additional collaborations and helping them to grow their businesses. Right, Pearl?
Yes. Sorry. See, I was about to sneeze then, but I kept it quiet. So,
I just had great timing, didn't I? So what are your thoughts on the show moving forward, Pearl? What are you hoping that people will take away from this?
I think, like you said, that whole word collaboration, yes, it's something I'm letting everyone know that is my word for this year. And especially after the madness of the last 2 years, I think if people come together and share their voice, the potential for everyone to grow their business is far stronger. And I think when you come together in collaboration, you help each other and every member of that collaboration, and we then amplify that engagement across so many different levels. And to me, it's just a no-brainer.
And that is one of your strengths for sure. You have that gift and power to be able to truly magnify people's voices. And one of the ways that you're doing that, and let's talk about that for just a moment, is your Women Who Lead project that you have going on right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Now, that literally came from International Women's Day. As we're on LinkedIn, you will see a lot of ladies joined last year my International Women's Day project, and we had phenomenal success. So I thought, right, I'm going to run it again this year. And I thought, what else can I do? I decided collaboration, networking, bringing people together is what I do best. And then with these two lovely ladies on either side, I have been a co-author, well, a contributing author into a book that we will say from a group that we're in. I thought, right, I'm going to do a Women Who Lead book that will coincide with International Women's Day. Due to illness, we might not publish bang on March like we'd hoped to, but there will be the chance to pre-order from then, and we're looking at publishing in April. And any woman that wants to promote what it is you do, we're asking for people to be contributing authors to actually join and write that chapter. And it's not a leadership book. I will be doing other books that will give us the chance to talk about leadership, but Women Who Lead is the chance for you to have this phenomenal PR option that your chapter is where you get to talk about what it is you do best. So it's putting you, your company, your key skills there in front of a global audience. And this is why I'm running it alongside International Women's Day, because yes, it's a way to give us all a voice, collaboration moving forward. And it means that we just build that engagement across each and every one of our networks and bring more people to our businesses.
Awesome. And there are several other parts to that program that we put together, your Women Who Lead project, that we'll talk about. But first, I'd like to ask Sherry. Sherry, you're involved in this Women Who Lead project. What drew you to it? What did you hope to have come out of it?
Well, first of all, I'll say what drew me to it, and it's exactly what you're talking about here is collaboration, because I have known Pearl and I've known Regina. Regina, listen to me.
It's okay.
Sorry, I live in Regina, so it's easy to say. But the two of you are so collaborative yourself, but you're so excited about living, excited about doing. And that's what drew me to it. Other
Awesome.
people might do the same kind of thing, but without the vibrancy, without the energy, without the motivation that you two have, I probably would pass. I've got too many other things to do, right? Just like everybody else. So
Exactly.
it's that. And then I'm sorry, the second question, Regina, was?
What you would hope to get from it, to take away from being involved in the project.
Good question. In terms of that, it's that element about being able to connect with women today all over the world. You know, there was a time when we could only connect with more local people. Now, being a speaker and being asked to speak in many, many different jurisdictions, that's wonderful. Then I get to meet people. But that was about the only way at one time, you know.
Yeah.
Be asked to come and speak someplace, and okay, now you've got these women that you'd never met before. But today I don't need to do that. I can do that right here on my computer, and that's it. You know,
I love that.
Different ways to connect and network and collaborate and do things together. That wasn't always the case.
It was not. And I love that. And it's one of the things that excites me is that we live in this global community now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, here I am in Houston, Texas area. Pearl is in Rugby, England. You are in Regina, Canada. And here we are having this wonderful time together.
Right. Exactly.
You know, if we weren't in this global community, I wouldn't have met either of you.
Very true.
Yeah. Because Sherry and I met originally at an event that was hosted by a Canadian in Las Vegas.
True. That's right.
Yeah. And then that relationship has just grown over the years. I think back, that's almost 6 years ago, Sherry, that we met. I can't believe that. And for Pearl and I, collaboration was just an automatic thing for us as well. When we met, it was just like we connected, and we've been looking for things to do and together ever since as well. So yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Pearl, shall we share a few things that are in that Women Who Lead project? Some of the things that are going to come out of that besides just having a chapter in a book?
Definitely. I mean, because this is it. As people get to know us, as we're running this week on week, and like we've said, we're looking for 2 shows a week. This is what we do. We don't just stick with one idea. We build on it, and it just grows and grows. And there is so many things. We have the one idea, and then we can think of maybe 5 or 6 different prongs and spokes that come out of that. So the book collaboration is just the start. So look at this as the start to grow your brand. And then I'm going to throw it back to Regina for this, because we're top and tail with this, because it's a joint venture partnership. And anyone that follows me on LinkedIn will see that I did actually share that only a week or so ago on my profile, that I've let people know that we are joint venture partners.
Yes.
Can I jump in here?
Please, Sherry.
Because the two of you, I mean, the one of you is amazing in terms of ideas. There are so many ideas that come from each one of you, but together you are amazing in terms of bouncing off each other with ideas and things that can be done. And here's the exciting part for all your listeners. And then they go do it. They don't just do it.
The energy in the room when Pearl and I are collaborating is quite high. I'm sure that if there were a heat wave being done from space, that, you know, that would light up that line going back and forth from her and I, because we do bounce off of each other. So some of the things that we have decided to include in our book offer, because it's not just about getting a chapter in a book. We want that to be the starting point for everyone, and we want to take them so much further on this journey. So obviously, first thing is that book become a bestseller. So now that you are a bestseller author after you've been in that book, then we're going to guarantee you 25 episodes of being a guest on a podcast. We're gonna get you at least one speaking engagement outside of the podcasts, at least one speaking engagement. And a fun thing that we're going to do, I'm involved in a project in the metaverse, the virtual reality part that is coming along so quickly in our world today. And we're actually going to supply you a 1-month storefront in the metaverse, in virtual reality, where you can sell your merchandise in virtual reality. And then if you want to continue after that month, then you would pick up that payment for that. But we're going to supply that at least for that first month and let you dip your toes into virtual reality in the metaverse. And so we're kind of excited about that too. What else do we have in there, Pearl? What can you think of that I'm missing?
What we're looking at now, once you've actually added a chapter, once you've written a chapter, you will be hooked. It will be something that you want to grow. So we are also offering the chance to actually write your own book, not just be a guest author, a contributing author. We will help you to craft that and also give you the shop front to promote it and sell it. We can actually link it to your websites. Right. If you don't have a website, we can add that as part of the package. And there's lots of things we are growing from that. From what Regina and I do, yes, we get on phenomenally well, but we also have separate key skills that we stand out and we probably lead the field in. And we are going to also offer those bespoke coaching offers on top. So like we said, the start of a book collaboration, writing a chapter, is quite literally that, the start. Then we will help to build your brand through speaking events, through guests on podcasts, to actually grow from there. Now, I took part in a couple of these virtual conferences in December, and the interaction I got just from someone walking past, I was getting email addresses sent to me all the time, which means I can then reach out. My list was growing because people could actually see. And when we say a shop front, you get the chance to build your own brochure. You can actually link it to YouTube. You can do a video so you can actually be there and people can engage with you. Some of these metaverse connections, the virtual reality stores, give you the chance to link on all your social media, so you can actually speak to someone via WhatsApp. So again, it makes the globe that much smaller. As we've all said, we are all in completely different areas of the globe, but we come together as one. And this is what the metaverse and these options will give us. So there is so much that we can do. And as Regina and Sherry have both said, the way our brains work, you come to us with an idea and we can actually guide you and do a bespoke service that will help you grow. The way my brain works, I will look at least 10 different ways that you can monetize your business. And that's what I'm going to be adding to the mix as a one-to-one coaching option, because that is going to, wherever you are now, I can grow you at least 3 levels up, and that's just for starters. So yes, there is so much. I'm now going to turn it back to Regina, because you can see I love what I'm talking about. I love it.
We truly have to set the timer on the two of us when we get together, because we can go all day. Barb, I'm going to unmute you now, but I was getting a little bit of feedback there. So when you first came in, so now we're good. Welcome, Barb.
Hello. Okay, so why you were getting feedback was because I was listening to you, because I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in, and then finally I got into the StreamYard link.
Okay. So, well, welcome, Barbara Ellison. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, great conversation. Collaboration is absolutely what's like you and I met. How many
collaboration? Yeah.
Through collaboration. And it has just been absolutely an amazing journey. And through, and then doing things with Sherry and doing things with Pearl, it's just absolutely the people that are not embracing collaboration. And I have to tell you, at the beginning, it was like I was always afraid to.
Oh,
All of those imposter things that, well, what do I have to offer? And well, are they going to think I'm weird? Or well, I've always done things my own way. I think I was a little bit like Cherry, that I just did things on my own until I discovered collaboration. And then I was like, oh wow, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. We don't have to go it alone. Sherry?
That's true. I was just going to say, and there's a downside too. For years and years and years, people would come to me and want to collaborate. Yeah. But when we got down to the bottom of it, what they wanted was my email list.
Right. Exactly.
And so that didn't work for me. And that's, as Barbara said, you pull back and you go, okay, now I'm a little bit worried about this. And eventually we fall into the right hands.
Right. Yeah. And just even a couple of weeks ago, and I'm very upfront. Hey, I am looking for collaboration partners or to podcast swap, because for me, it's about visibility. Let's get what we do out there. And I had 2 gentlemen in a row that they just was like, they went right into like a sales presentation. This is not this was not, I'm upfront with you. This is what I'm, and I was like, and then of course they were affronted. And then it just became, and so now when that happens, I just laugh it off and just, oh, well, they're lost, because look at all the things that we have now gone. I mean, just between us 4, we just talked, you guys just talked about it. We're an international.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are international. The opportunity for international growth and visibility, you could never do that. Never do that before without traveling to,
Let me give you another example of that. I communicate with a few folks in Africa, in various places in Africa, have some connections. And a couple of months ago, one of the young men that I interact with there had told me that he wanted me to speak to a group there.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I'm, very interested. Yeah. And then it just kind of, I didn't hear any more about it for a little bit. And then yesterday it was like, okay, so-and-so is going to be contacting you about that group I wanted you to speak to. I really, and so an opportunity to speak from Houston, Texas to people in Africa. I mean, no other time in the history of our world has there been such amazing opportunity for entrepreneurs, for people who, I love the term heart-centered, who are heart-centered and want to make a difference in the world, to actually go out there and make that difference. It is a phenomenal time to be alive.
And I think now for me, it just seems like it is so easy. It's easier. I'm finding it easier to find them because I am so much more upfront. This is what I'm looking for. I am looking for heart-centered entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, whatever, who are open to this, and this.
Right.
And the ones that don't respond. Okay, great.
Yeah. And so your social profiles need to reflect all that, right, Pearl?
And that
so that you can attract those. So Pearl is a master of social profiles and working in the social media world. So Pearl, why don't you talk to us about that a little bit?
If I start with a bit of my background, so people will think, who's this weird woman that thinks she knows social media because she's not hip and with it. I'm probably a few years older than most people expect you to be if you excel at social media. Now, I got into Twitter in 2009. So if we do the maths, I've been a member of social media from when it first started, near as damn it. And I've worked for a lot of big companies. Yes, I'm a consultant for communications. I'm a communications consultant. I specialize in digital technology. Therefore, social media comes under that. I wrote the Evoke launch for Jaguar Land Rover, which was social media led. I wrote their social media policy. I've done the same for quite a few large corporations. So when I talk about social media, it's not because I do it with my family and I understand it. I've done most of this engagement strategy for central government here in the UK. So I know how to keep you safe as well. I know how to look at cybersecurity and know, yes, the idea of having a large network means that you can broadcast your message to a massive audience, but you also need to keep safe with that. You need to look at where you are, so when you're sharing things, you definitely don't geotag. You do not say where you're from, because if someone wants to stalk you, they will follow you and see. So the whole idea of using social media, being a digital nomad, you need to stay safe at the same time. And that's what I excel at. Yes, I've got a large network because I believe in, if you talk about something and say you can do it, the proof is in the pudding. So if someone was to look at my network and see the numbers that I have across practically all of these social channels, they're large because they prove that I can do what I say I can do. Because like we say, so many people use social media as for personal means, and they think that they can use those skills they've learned in the personal arena and bring it into business, but it's two completely different audiences and we approach it completely differently. But social media for business is a phenomenal way to actually get out there, get yourself heard, build engagement, build it safely, and establish yourself as a thought leader, become a brand ambassador. Something that each and every one of these wonderful ladies in this group, we are a brand ambassador for each other because we've worked with each other. We know what we do and we can share our experiences. And you look at that in a corporate arena, every one of your employees should be taught to be a brand ambassador for your brand, for the company, because if they're treated properly and they're happy, they will go out and they will spread the message. Likewise, if you've got a whole C-suite of directors that are thought leaders in specific areas, your brand shines. Whether you're an individual company, just an SME, whether it's a large corporation, if you get your messaging right and in front of a large audience, you can excel. You can show exactly how your profile is the best it can be, and also that whole thought leadership. And we go back to the collaboration, the book collaborations. It's your chance to shine on the subject and the topic that you know best.
Yeah. Jerry, did you have a comment?
Just send true, you bet.
And you know, and like right now, I've got to get. I think I've sent a message to Pearl just the other day about getting going on some of my link, my profile and stuff. And it's like, yeah, we have to do it. It has to reflect who. Like one of the things that Pearl said, well, what do you want to be known for? And I said, well, and it was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Put that on your profile.
Exactly.
Who knew? Yeah.
And that's why, too, Pearl's book, Women Who Lead, is not a book about leadership. It's a book about these women and how they lead, what they do.
What we do.
Yeah. And so it is a different take on leadership for sure. And how many folks are involved in the project now, Pearl? How many women are involved?
I've got 38 women that are looking to write chapters, but it's still open. Like I said at the start of this, due to illness, I had thought, yes, I'm going to have everything ready for March for International Women's Day, but I've been quite poorly. I think some of the ladies in the group know that, and I think Regina and I have literally shared, we've gone flat out and we've been poorly. So I'm putting the publication off until at least April, so there's plenty of time for other people to join and get that message out. And once it's in print, once it's there, anyone can read it at any time. And it's putting, like, you are then becoming a thought leader in the subject area that you know best. And that's how you then, from the book, you get more speaking events, you get more clients, because people see just where your knowledge sits. And it's a great way to promote and excel and collaborate with each other, because there's so many different chapters. it will become a series and it will grow with that. And so every other author that has written a chapter, we are supporting each other, so that anyone that they sell the book to, that their network sees, they are also reading about each and every one of us, and vice versa. So if you look at the amplification of that engagement, it's not just your network, it's the network of 37 other people that your message is going to reach. And that's just for now. And hopefully from people watching this message, it's open for other people to reach out. And gentlemen, please don't think all we're thinking about is women, because there will be further book collaborations that is open to everyone. It's just Women Who Lead that fits with the International Women's Day subject.
Exactly.
And you know, it's very true what you're saying, Pearl, about authorship. Now, my book is what has given me many opportunities throughout the world to go there and speak. And so anybody that's listening here, yes, one of the best things you can do for yourself in your business, I don't care what business it is, any business, is to be an author of a book. And Pearl and Regina here are really going all out to be able to help people get that done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even if you're in a compilation book, like with me, the two books that I'm in, I mean, it's like, oh, you were part of a book. Yeah, you know, and it's just because I think that's one of the number one things that people have. They always say, oh, I'd love to. Oh, I think I could write a book, but they don't do it.
That's
right. So a couple of things about it. One is that once you've written that book, you are an author, whether it's a chapter or whether it's a book. You are an author, and you can now put that on all of your profiles. When it hits bestseller status, that is now you're now a best-selling author. That is also follows you from then on. And then Pearl has made it so easy for you to write that chapter. So maybe you're sitting there thinking, man, I don't have any idea what I would write and how I would put together a chapter on that. Pearl gives you a list of questions. You answer the questions and you've written your chapter.
But I also need to say a massive thank you to the lovely Sherry Knight, because Sherry helped me pull those questions together.
Is that right?
And we brainstormed together. We collaborated. And Sherry said, how about this? How about that? And it's brought that information together. And I've thought, as we've been saying this, I've thought of one thing that Regina and I forgot to share about our joint venture. We're also giving the option of an audio book. And this is where, when you look where Barbara's spoken about podcasts, how do people consume their information most now? It's through on-demand content. It could be the likes of Netflix or Prime Video, something like that, or Disney Plus, or you've got podcasts. When you look at a video where you used to have radio stations and you'd have to wait for your show to start, people don't want that now. They want to be able to binge and listen to every episode of a podcast. Now we're offering that with the book arena as well, so that if you're anything like me, I get the Kindle version, I get the hard copy, and I get the audio, because when you're listening and reading at the same time, you completely consume that information. You fully understand it more than if you're just reading in one form. So as well, if you look at that, if you've got those three options, you've got 3 sales from one title.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I love listening and reading at the same time.
Interesting. I've not done that. I'll have to give that a try.
I do that. I'll be reading, especially if it's like scripture and stuff like that. I'll be reading it and
listening at the same time.
At the same time, and it makes such a difference. For me, it does. You know, because it taps into the two of the forms of learning. Yeah.
Right.
Whether you're
and again, you'll have that's awesome. And again, you're going to have that option of being able to sell it right from your website as well, or your landing page or whatever. So we can actually put a bookstore right on your page. There are a few details we're working out in terms of the audiobook part and making sure that if you have it as an audiobook on or as a Kindle on Amazon, whether or not you can sell it from your store. So we're kind of working through those details on a couple of things, but you'll have options of where you want it to be, and we guarantee they'll be Amazon bestsellers. So yeah, so we're excited about that project. And that is the first of many. Pearl and I both have a string of projects that we're working on, and we're supporting one another in them. So some of you know I have a podcast, Pursuing Profit with Principles, and I want to give folks the opportunity that have been on my podcast or will be to also have a chapter in a book. So we're going to offer this same process to anyone who's been on my podcast. And so that will be a different book. Yeah.
I'll have to think about that and see.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to talk to Jason. And see about that, for the Everyday Riches show. I never thought that, which is,
and that's something we could help you with. And that's something we could collaborate with you on, Barb. So, yeah.
Let's talk to Jason. We'll set up. We'll do lunch.
I love it. Collaboration is the name of the game, folks. Working together.
That's one of the things that I share with my clients. Your brain can only know what it already knows. You can ask it to see a vision, like you can vision, absolutely, but you don't know the how. And I think that's one of the things that collaboration helps you to do, because
absolutely,
because once you have the vision, oh, I want to have a podcast or I want to write a book. Well, how am I going to do that? Once you've made the decision that you're going to do it, the how is like things like this. People will show up in your life, little steps at a time, to bring it about. But you don't know how to do it until you collaborate with other people.
Right. Before we sign off, I want to ask each of you to put a bit of contact information in the comments, if you will. So if someone listening today and watching today wants to reach out to collaborate with you, they have a way to reach you. So if you wouldn't mind doing that in the comments, each of you put one of your contact pieces, so that folks can reach out to you. It'd be right here on LinkedIn. Yeah.
I'm showing my ignorance here because all I see is for the microphone and share. Is that the comments?
Okay. On the right-hand side of your screen, or at least on mine, Sherry, on the right-hand side is comments. Now it's on the chat.
We might find, I haven't logged in, so it might not show, but I've been watching us on LinkedIn for the whole of this interview. So I think if each and every one of us comment below on LinkedIn
below the post, that'll be fine.
You will find a way to connect with us. And obviously, as we comment, you will then see each of our profiles, and we welcome if you reach out and connect with us, you can do that as well.
We look forward to connecting with everyone, to serving you in any way that we can, and to future collaborations, because that is the name of the game. And we have enjoyed this first collaboration conversation, first of many, and want to really express our appreciation to Sherry and Barb for joining us this morning. So,
always
final thoughts.
Always fun to be.
Awesome.
And I think my final thought is, if you don't think you can do it anyways.
Yeah, there you go. Do it anyway.
Just start.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Absolutely.
Just make the decision to start. And I have one little tip then for people. If they do want to start writing, and I'm not an affiliate with them, but it's an app called Morning Pages. And
heard of that.
You just start writing, and it tells you how many words you've written. And then it gives you a calendar, and it gives you little streaks that if you do 2 in a row, 2 days in a row, and just
encourages you to do it.
Encourages you to do it. So
awesome. And helps you see that you have done it successfully.
That you can.
Fantastic.
And I started with just putting down my thoughts. All right, what are my thoughts right now?
Right.
Right. What comes out?
Yep. Sherry, final thoughts?
Oh, just do it. There's that whole element. Just do it. Get started. And don't be like me. I started my book. It was 7 years. until I finally said, this book is going to be published within 3 months. And it was.
Yeah.
It's just do it.
Just do it. And I like that you put a deadline on it. I
Right.
know I have been working on some books to get launched for a while now. And finally, the other day, I set it down and I said, okay, I'm starting in March. I will launch 1 book a month, get these books finished and out there because they're 90% finished already. There's not that much left to do. And so it's like, but it just keeps getting put off. So now it's like, okay, starting in March, 1 book a month for the next 6 months. So, and then I'll have to write some more.
And you'll find that easy.
Yeah. Pearl, your final comments for this morning?
Watch this space, because for the next 3, possibly 4 weeks, I will be interviewing the wonderful Sherry Knight. And what this lady doesn't know is so minuscule. She knows so much. And that's why I've said we are going to be doing interviews so I can put this lady front and center and show you just how great she is. And I think every one of these ladies will be doing this. So please watch. This is just the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you'd like to be on our LinkedIn Live here for collaboration conversations, reach out to Pearl or myself, and we'll see if we can't get you scheduled into the show. Thanks for joining us this morning. I hope you found this as fun as I did. I love getting to interact with all of these wonderful ladies and all that they are doing. And it really, gets me going. It gets me excited. So have an amazing day, and we'll see you all on Thursday at, I believe, 11:30 Central Time. On Thursday, Pearl and I will be back with some more folks to introduce you to. So have a great day. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.